Dari segi perbezaan, yang pertamanya pada saya memudahkanlah. Sebelum ni penyediaan dokumentasi tu manual, jadi banyak folder sikit. Yang keduanya, bila sistem menggunakan sistem ni lebih mudah, jadi secara tak langsung dia menjimatkan masa pengguna lah. Banyak dokumentasi yang saya kena sediakan, tapi bila guna sistem ni, maknanya semua dokumentasi ada dalam sistem ni, maknanya lebih selamat lah.
Assalamualaikum and good days. My name is Muhamad Azmi bin Yusuf. My metric number card is 0201835102. And today, I will be present my research title, Evolution of the Branch Office Management System (SPPC) at Dewan Mendaraya Kuala Lumpur (Dbkl) Branch Office. In this presentation, I will briefly explain the background of the study, the research objective, the methodology, and the key finding from the SPSS analysis, followed by the discussion and conclusion. Let's begin. Okay. This slide explains the background of my study. Digital transformation is important because it helps organizations work more efficiently and improve overall productivity. In the public sector, digital systems are not only used to replace manual work, but also to make process faster, more accurate, and more organized through centralized management. Ministry also emphasized the digital transformation through the public sector digitalization plan 2021 to 2025. However, implementing a system is not always smooth. Common challenges include lack of ICT skill, limited training, and user acceptance, as well as technical and infrastructure problem. Therefore, the study focused on how the factor may influence the effectiveness of the system and user satisfaction. For this presentation, I will cover 8 main parts. First, I will explain the background of the study and why the research was conducted. Second, I will briefly share the system origin from Smopc to SPPC, including how the system was introduced and improved over time. Third, I will highlight the problem statement followed by the research objective in the fourth section. Next, I will present a concept framework and theory based on the information system success model. After that, I will explain the research methodology, including the questionnaire and data collection processes. Then, I will present the findings of SPSS analysis, which include descriptive statistics, reliability, correlation, and regression result. Finally, I will conclude what the discussion, recommendation, and overall conclusion of the study. So, let's start what the background of the study. Okay, to clarify why there are two names Smopc and SPPC, the system originally started at Smopc, which was personally developed by me from 2016 until 2021. It was designed based on networking and database concept using Microsoft Access coding. The main objective at the time was to overcome manual work issues at a branch office, especially record handling and document tracking, which were time-consuming and prone to errors. Dbkl, after 2021, I prepared an officially proper paper to bring the system into the Dbkl through a formal process. The system was also present twice for a case study under the Dbkl Information Technology Department. Eventually, the system was officially transferred and further upgraded into the web-based system, which is now as a SPPC, Sistem Pengurusan Pejabat Cawangan. This slide explains the problem statement of the study. Although the system has evolved from Smopc, which was self-developed into SPPC as an official web-based system under Dbkl, its real effectiveness still need to be evaluated in actually daily operation. In practice, there may still be challenges such as an inconsistent system uses among users, integration issue where data and workflow are not fully seamless, and automation function that may not fully support routine tasks efficiently. Additionally, technical or infrastructure issue can also affect the user experience. Therefore, the study focused on identify the key factor that influence user satisfaction toward the SPPC system. Next, this slide presents the research objective of my study. Overall, the research is conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of the SPCC system by focusing on user satisfaction as the main indicator of success. There are 4 main objectives in this study. First, I am to examine the relationship between system adoption and user satisfaction, which means how far users accept and consistently use the system. Second, I will examine the relationship between system integration and user satisfaction, focusing on how well the system support coordination and data flow in a branch office work processes. Third, I will examine the relationship between processes automation and user satisfaction to see whether automation feature help user complete tasks faster and reduce manual works. Finally, the fourth objective is to identify the most significant factor that influence user satisfaction toward the SPCC. In a short, this study help to determine which area shall be improvement. The most stringent SPCC, performance and support daily operational efficiency. Next, this slide explains the conceptual framework and theory used in the study. This research is guided by the Information System Success Model, which is commonly used to evaluate whether a system is successful in organization. In this model, the success of system can be measured through the user experience and outcomes, and user satisfaction is one of the most important indicators. This is because when users are satisfied, it shows the system is useful, easy to work with, and support daily tasks effectively. Based on this theory, my study focused on 3 key factors: system adoption, system integration, and a processor automation. These 3 factors are expected to influence user satisfaction toward the SPCC system. In summary, the framework helped the study to clearly examine which factor has the stronger impact on user satisfaction and system effectiveness. Next, this slide presents the research framework and hypothesis. In this study, there are 3 independent variables which are system adoption, system integration, and process automation. The dependent variable is user satisfaction. Based on the framework, I developed 3 hypotheses. The first hypothesis states that adoption has significant relationship with user satisfaction. 2. The second hypothesis focuses on system integration and user satisfaction. The 3 hypotheses is that process automation has significant relationship with user satisfaction. Overall, this hypothesis will be tested using SPSS to determine which factor has the strongest impact on user satisfaction toward SPCC. Next, this slide explains the methodology of the study. This research is used a quantitative approach and apply a cross-sectional survey design. Data was collected using a questionnaire with a Likert scale from 1 to 5. The population consists around 220 active SPCC users across Dbkl branch office, and the sample size obtained was 103 respondents using stratified random sampling to ensure fair representation. For data analysis, IBM SPSS was used. The analysis include descriptive statistics, reliability testing using crossbar alpha, Poisson correlation, and multiple regression to identify the most significant factor influencing user satisfaction. This slide summarizes the respondent profile for this study. A total of 103 respondents participate. The majority are male, and the higher age group is between 40 to 49 years old. In terms of system usage, almost half of the respondents use SPCC daily, which indicate that the system plays an important role in branch office operation. most respondents have attended training, but there are still users who did not receive a formal training. In addition, about 42.7% of respondents have experienced technical issues, which may influence their user satisfaction and overall system effectiveness. Next, this slide shows the reliability analysis using the crossbar alpha. The reliability testing is important to ensure that the questionnaire item consistently measure each construct. Based on the result, all constructs recorded excellent. Crossbar alpha value system adoption is 0.950, system integration is 0.972, process automation is 0.950, and user satisfaction is 0.983. Since all values are above 0.9, it shows that the data is highly reliable and the measurement items are consistent for further analysis. Next, this slide presents the descriptive analysis result based on the mean score for each construct in this study. This purpose of descriptive analysis is to summarize the overall perception of the respondent toward the SPCC system by looking at the average score for each variable. Overall, the findings show that all constructs record high mean values, which indicate the respondents generally have positive perception toward the SPCC system and agree the system support the delay for operation at the branch office. In terms of the result, user satisfaction achieved the highest mean score, which is 4.070, showing that most respondents are satisfied with the system performance and benefit. Next, process automation recorded a mean score of 4.019, suggestion that users strongly agree the system have reduced manual work and improved efficiency through automated process. System adoption also show high mean score of 3.975, indicating that the system is generally accepted and used by users in their daily tasks. Lastly, system integration recorded by lower mean score at 3.848, but it remained the high category, which mean integration is still positively perceived, although it may have slightly more room for improvement compared to the other factors. In conclusion, this result demonstrates that SPCC use report high level of agreement across all constructs, reflecting strong acceptance and satisfaction with the system. This suggests that SPCC is generally effective in support branch office operation, especially through automation and overall user satisfaction. Next, this slide presents the present correlation result. The purpose of a correlation analysis is to identify whether there is a relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable, which is user satisfaction. In this study, the relationship tests are between system adoption, system integration, and process automation with user satisfaction toward SPCC. Based on the result, all three variables show positive and statistically significant relationship with satisfaction, where the p-value for all relationship is less than 0.001. First, system adoption has correlation value of R 0.737, which indicated a strong positive relationship. Second, system integration show a correlation value of R 0.793, also strong positive relationship. This suggests that better integration of workflow and data contribute to higher user satisfaction. Third, stronger result in process automation, which are 0.942, which indicate a very strong positive relationship. This shows that users are more satisfied when SPCC successful, reduce manual work, and improve efficiently through automation. In conclusion, correlation finding confirm that all three are strongly linked to user satisfaction, with process automation showing the strongest relationship. This support the idea that automation play a major role in improving satisfaction among SPCC users. Next, this slide presents the multiple regression analysis result. The purpose of regression analysis is to determine which independent variable is the most significant predictor of use satisfaction when all factors are tested together. Based on the model summarized, the R-square value is 0.888, which means that 88.8% of the variation in user satisfaction can be explained by the three independent variables in this study: system adaptation, system integration, and process automation. This indicates that model is strong, has a high explanatory power. However, when we look at the predictor, only process automation was found be statistically significant, with a beta value of 0.931 and a p-value less than 0.001. This means that the automation contribute the most is predicting user satisfaction toward SPCC. On the other hand, system adaptation and system integration were not significant in the regression model, with p-value of 0.706 and 0.619 respectively. This suggests that although both of variables are related to use satisfaction in correlation analysis, their unique contribute become less dominant when process automation is included in the models. In conclusion, the regression result confirm that process automation is the strong and most significant predictor of user satisfaction, highlighting that users are more satisfied when SPCC effectively reduce manual tasks and improve operational efficiency. Next, this slide summarizes the key findings and explain the meaning of R-square equal 0.888 in a simple term. This value shows how well the model explains user satisfaction. With a R-square 0.888, it means that 88.8% of user satisfaction toward SPCC can be explained by the three factors in this study, which are system adaptation, system integration, and process automation. This indicates the model is very strong, highly reliable in explaining user satisfaction. Among the three factors, process automation is the strongest and most significant predictor, with a beta value 0.931. This suggests that users are more satisfied when the system reduces manual work, speed up daily tasks, and improvement operation efficiency. In conclusion, the findings clearly show that improving automation function is SPC is the most effective, where the increased user satisfaction and strengthens overall system effectiveness. Next, this slide presents the recommendation based on the key finding. Since process automation is the strongest predictor of user satisfaction, the first recommendation is strengthens automation feature in SPCC. This includes automating routine tasks such as report generation, data entry process, monitoring and tracking, so that users can complete work faster with fewer manual steps. The second recommendation is improve system integration. Although integration shows how strong relationship with satisfaction, it can be enhanced by improving data flow between module or unit and ensuring more seamless and standardized workflow. Finally, user support is also important. Regular training, clear and user guidelines, and strong technically support can help increase user confidence, reduce system error, and improve long-term system usage. In conclusion, this recommendation aim to improve user satisfaction and user SPCC. Continue to support branch officers' operation effectively. Finally, this slide concludes the overall finding of the study. Based on the descriptive analysis, SPCC is generally well received by users, as all variables record high mean score which reflect positive perception toward the system. The correlation result also show that system adaptation, system integration, and process automation have a strong positive relationship with the user satisfaction. However, the regression analysis confirmed that process automation is the strong and more significant predictor of user satisfaction toward SPCC. In conclusion, SPCC can be considered effective in supporting the branch office operation, but the most important improvement area in process automation. By enhancing automation feature, SPCC can further reduce manual work, improve efficiency, and increase user satisfaction in the long term. Thanks. That's all